Hey guys, just wanted to take a few moments to talk about a couple things before we dive into today's episode and the series as a whole. When I first started this podcast series with the class of 2010 from Western Alamance, I never imagined it had the potential to become something meaningful. While recording and wrapping up the conversations, we did lose two members of our Western Alamance class, Jonathan Swarsigan and Jenny Strickland. I did have the pleasure of having Jenny on the podcast before her passing, and I'm grateful her story has the potential to live on in this space. Her episode will be released at a more appropriate time at a later date. This project is more than looking back. It's about recognizing how fleeting time can be, appreciating the people who've shaped our lives, and not taking a single moment for granted. So I implore you, if there's someone you've been meaning to call, catch up with, don't wait. Reach out, say the thing. You never know when it might be your last chance. So this one's for Jenny, Jonathan, and everyone else. Thanks. Welcome to the Cooler Conversations podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Smiley. This is the audio culmination of cool stories and the coolest people. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you're not so new, welcome back. And if I'm welcoming back, please be sure to hit us up on all the social medias, leave a review, even if it's a 1-star. Any engagement is engagement. Today is a continuation of the WAHS, Western Alamance High School, basically a reunion tour at this point. I've been hitting up all the senior superlatives of my high school class of 2010, and today we have a gem. I am bringing on as a guest our senior superlative who voted most intellectual and was our class valedictorian. This is Kaley Barrinea.
How's it going?
It is going well. 15 years, as far as I can tell with the math. We're coming up on June. Does it feel like it's been 15 years, or has it just flown by for you?
In some ways it has flown by, and in some ways it's almost like I can't believe it's only been 15 years. Most of the time they've flown by. I don't feel like I'm that old.
Here's a fun fact about you, because I was doing research trying to figure out what 2010 was like, because obviously a lot's happened. It's your video. I think your dad posted a video of you and your speech, so that's still on the internet. I did watch that.
Oh, great.
Full-on box of chocolates speech is on YouTube, as well as football highlights that your dad has posted. So you are living legend on the internet right now, representing
Thanks,
the class. I was going to say, as the last person to speak to us before we got our diplomas, and then I think there was other stuff we were doing. Were you nervous that day? Did anything happen other than the power outage, if you remember that?
The power outage was a big one because I was trying to get ready, shower, do my hair, and of course power goes blank. So that was fun. Mm-hmm. Other than that, it was just I have a huge family, so they'd all come in from out of town. I was the youngest grandkid of all of us, so it was just chaotic. There wasn't much time to get nervous, but then public speaking also isn't my favorite thing. So it's let's just rush this through and get it done.
I was going to say, you did solid. I talked to Rajiv earlier, and he said he loved his public speaking portion. And so I was like, I wonder if everyone was just amped with their public speaking.
Oh, no. I get laughed at now at my job because they say there's normal me. And then when we go into the studio, because I teach fitness classes, there is fitness me, and it's a different personality that comes out. Mm-hmm. Because it's otherwise I am way reserved.
Wow. So let's go back to 2010. If you can kind of describe in a few sentences, what was your high school career like? What were you involved with? What were you doing? What were you vibing to?
Involved with most was cheer. Cheer took over. It was everything. It was we had our football season. You'd did all of the homecoming, then basketball, then the tryouts for after we left, because of course you had to make sure that the next group was in your mind good enough, even though they were fine. But it was the whole senior mentality of we wanted to leave it. And then it was the focus on college. I remember going to see, I didn't think I'd go to Carolina. I went and hung out with my brother there a few times, completely changed my mind on where I was going, and went to UNC after that. And like, that was the big focus. Like, just let's go to college. It'll be fun. It'll be easy, which it was fun. It was definitely not as easy as I thought it would be.
Yeah. So then you would say you kind of speed run a little bit of your like high school, kind of going straight into the college a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Like, it was like the full fast forward. Like, I want to be independent. Like,
well, then, so that's got to be fun then to just like, for someone who speed run their time there and then to get hit up like 15 years later, like, hey, we're going to rehash everything as far as high school goes. That's got to be like a fun little, got to remember some things.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I had fun in high school still. It wasn't like the speed run, like, oh, I hate it here, I have to get out. But it was just like since I was the younger sibling, it was the like, oh, look, they're independent. Like, my brother's older. He's like doing all this stuff. I want to do it too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. So you're trying to like catch up with the family essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. What were you listening to? Were there movies that you were vibing to? Like, what was your style? Anything like that's nostalgia baited about it?
I think nostalgia would be the OC. Like, even though it was over, like watching it in online class every single day. Because of course in online class, like, we'd finish work early, had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So I think we rewatched that show like 2 or 3 times.
That's hilarious. I completely forgot about the OC. I for me, and I think it was like, I remember Jersey Shore, but I also, that might have been after we graduated. I'm talking about like Obsession. But yeah, I completely forgot about the OC. I think about like The Office being a television show back then. I think there was like people were doing like SNL parties or something like that. But what about music? Anything like that you're even still listening to?
I feel like, yeah, I still listen to it because I think Pop 2K and like the 2010s on my XM are what's on in my car.
Okay. So if you then with your kids, you're the mom who's playing their oldies, and they're gonna be like, oh my God, Nicki Minaj again.
Oh yeah. Like, my 4-year-old already humbles me and tells me that I am not cool. So it's great.
Are there any things that you wish that you could bring back in style, or things that you just wish would have died in 2010 because they're back in style?
Gosh, right now, like the whole, like, part of me wants skinny jeans back, as much as they're apparently like wide leg and all of that is out. I feel like, though, I'm not the greatest with style. It's like the mom life now of like full on just leggings every day and running around.
That might be your biggest hot take. I've heard people say, I do not want skinny jeans. I do not want the low rise. I don't want any of those back. Keep them.
Like, I feel like the skinny jeans were way more flattering.
Well, honestly, everything's cyclical. So more than likely they'll come back. Cause I think we're going through like the grunge phase of like Gen Z, which means they'll go right into like a little bit of skinny jean.
Oh, yeah. Go to Target right now. It's a blast from the past.
Are there any hobbies that you have continued since like when you were a kid, as far as like even high school? Like, if you're cheering, like, are you doing like bar? Is there any like continuation on, or something that you've found again in your 30s?
Oh yeah. So I started bar when I first moved to Atlanta. I then became the lead instructor for my studio here, and that is my job outside of the home, is teaching bar classes. So that one stuck with me.
Nice.
Sure.
Okay. So then it's definitely, the reason I highlight that is I'm finding a lot of people reconnecting with like a love activity or some activity that they were good at when they were like a teen, and then like they forgot about it in their 20s, and then they like are rehashing it again in their 30s. So bar is yours, like going back into like dance and choreography and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. So that one came back, and it is definitely like my space away, get to be an adult, get to have time for myself type of deal.
So this is one of my main questions. Do you feel like an adult, especially with kids? Like, do you feel like an adult, or is you just kind of like, what is this?
Yes and no. There are some days where it's like, I've got it all together. Like, I am in charge. We can do this. Like, we're packed. We went on vacation recently, like, did a full 10 days with the kids, got everything organized, planned, all was great. And then they're like this week where I'm pretty sure I'm just winging it. And I can't believe they let me have these kids at my house. Like, how am I responsible for other humans? Like, I can tell you the hours of 6 to 7 p.m. here are just full on like chaos, little tornadoes running around. And I'm like, what am I doing?
Well, knock on wood, because you guys got dodged some tornadoes.
That is a bad choice of words. My little tiny tornadoes, not as bad as the Memphis area tornadoes we get. They might do more damage to my house, though.
There you go. Yeah. Do you? I'm trying to go through. So going back into like that nostalgia realm, they say we're become like a meme, like as far as our age bracket. They say that we are some of the most nostalgia baited generation. Do you find yourself like not wanting to go back in time and just relive, not trying to like relive high school, but as far as like, do you find yourself like constantly like going to the OC, like, oh, I need to rewatch some episodes just to feel like a serotonin boost? Do I need to look up an old song just to feel some type of way? Do you get hit with like that nostalgia kick?
Oh yeah. It sounds like, I swear, half my For You page right now on Instagram is like people who are like making fun of basically 2010 to 2015 and memes, but I'm like, oh yeah, like that was a fun time. Like looking back at it, it's like
what's your go-to then? So the reason I ask this is the biggest thing right now is Pokemon cards have somehow just exploded, and now people our age are just hawking them and trying to make some money. So what's your like guilt-free nostalgia hit?
That I don't know. Mine is typically ends up coming in like the pop music.
Okay.
Like we drove yesterday, we had an hour drive to our photographer for my son, and we had a full-on concert in the car.
Okay.
Just like 2010s hits.
What's playing?
XM, like Sirius XM 2010s.
Oh, there's an XM? We've reached XM.
We have reached an XM decade. It was a sad day and a great day all at the same time.
Do they do deep cuts or is it all top 40?
Oh, it's like all top 40.
Okay.
And then like the pop punk phase, of course, like the pop punk emo phase.
Okay.
That's even like a constant on the Peloton, the pop punk classes.
Oh my God. They even have us, they're marketing us on the Peloton now.
Oh yeah. We have hit that age where you feel nice and old. Is there
a period of point like when you were in high school that you remember the most? Like it just pops out to you if someone was like, hey, this is the good old days, or there was a day or an event that happened, anything that just sticks out to your mind?
I feel like it was mainly like junior and senior year decorating the cars for homecoming. That was the year that like for cheerleaders, you stayed out late, you went to all the senior players' cars, you were doing like balloons and paint all over the place. So it was like, this is like the easy, like fun. Like nothing's gonna go bad. Like everything is just like fun and you look
okay. So it wasn't, you guys weren't like pranking them. You guys weren't like
no, like they knew it was coming. We had to call the parents. Like the parents knew we were gonna be there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of dope. I was thinking of there's a couple things that pop out to me. I've mentioned this multiple times with everyone who I've recorded with. Do you remember the deer?
Oh yes. I've forgotten about it till you said it. But yeah, I was sitting there in the library when it hit on like the window.
Oh my.
I was watching the OC and that deer hit him. I was like, what's happening?
Did it try to break into the library? I remember it going into the A building, but I don't remember like the full pathway.
I think when it got out, it was just like going crazy. And that was such a long like glass wall that it just ran into it because it was freaked out. And because it bounced off and ran away.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, I was on the opposite side. I was nudged by Kevin Gussler, and he was like, there's a deer in the school. And I was like, we need to get a bathroom pass and figure out what's going on. And we found, like, I remember walking by, and the janitorial staff, God bless him, he was pissed out of his mind, just cursing. Mr. Neal, I think was his name, blood all over that hallway. And it was like, what? It's like a massacre.
People still don't believe me when I tell them about it. Like here, they're like, there's no way. I'm like, no, it really happened. Like my school was out in the country. This happened.
Well, honestly, it's funny. I was looking at the yearbook, and I've got it right here. There's a deer. They have a deer on the cover.
I think I remember that now. Mine are somewhere back on those shelves. But
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a I can't like it's like under my desk, but there's like a little like colored deer, and I was like, okay, so there's our highlight. And then I remember we couldn't have a senior prank because the year before they went way too overboard. So we didn't get to do anything mischievous.
Oh yeah. Like, well, I mean, that was the same with my speech. I had to turn it in ahead of time to Mrs. Spears because a few years prior, the valedictorian speech went off topic and went inappropriate.
What did you have something in there that needed to be cut?
Well, no, but it was about that it had to be like I had to stay on script. Like I was warned that if you
Oh,
go off script, we will withhold this diploma. You are not getting it.
I wonder, like, what's the statute of limitation on that? Like, knowing what we know now, it's like, all right, you get an
I'm
extra
like, could you
day.
actually withhold it? I'm honestly not sure UNC ever checked that I graduated. I don't think I had to send any records in. So who
That's
knows?
funny. That's funny. I don't know what that says a lot for UNC's admission. They just don't
I
even
mean,
check.
maybe they checked. Maybe they assume if you don't flunk out in the first semester, you must have finished passing. But who knows?
Is there a class that you wish you would have taken more seriously? And is there a class that just hasn't aged well based off of the way we are, like technologically and societally, anything like that?
I feel like I took most of them pretty seriously.
Okay.
I probably enjoyed physics the most, but actually, like it was Mr. Vernon, so it was great.
Hmm.
As far as doesn't really apply anymore, I feel like it's bad that it's like math. It's probably more the math classes. Like they're like you'll never have to know this in your head, or you always have to know it in your head. You won't have a calculator in your pocket. No, I have a calculator in my pocket.
Yeah. I think about that a lot. It's the growing up and with that, oh, you're not going to have that on you. Meanwhile, the black mirror sits in our pockets the entire
Okay.
time. I always think there, especially with like Mr. Vernon, I wish I would have asked him more about his apple orchard. That's the stuff I'm like into now. I'm like, oh, you're running a side gig while working a 40-hour job? That's pretty dope.
Yeah. I'm
Is
like,
he?
how can I get one of those trees? Like,
I know, like if I was, everyone's on this self-sufficient phase right now. Like if I could just grow like apples in the backyard, killer.
oh, my husband joked that we just spent like $200 at Home Depot so I can grow 2 pounds of tomatoes.
There, I've always wondered what the conversion is as far as like produce grown at home versus like mass produced because of
And it
what
used to
energy.
do well, and now we have deer that like to just come eat all of my food.
Do you guys set up anything for the deer? Do you guys do like the little like plates?
I mean, we've tried it, but they don't seem to care. Like nothing really bothers them.
Oh, you guys
And then
got
there's a
the.
bunny, and the bunny can like go under things, and so we plant it, and every year I end up getting mad that it's all gone, and I get to eat nothing.
I mean, you guys need to go full Tennessee and get a gun.
My neighbor's a big time hunter, and I'm like, can't you like you shoot your bow? Can you just do it? And I was informed that no, he was not going
Uh,
to do that. That is not allowed. And that he's like that would get all of my licenses taken away, and I do not want to be in the business of like shooting the neighborhood deer.
so what you do is you plant your garden in the woods, and he can shoot the deer, and you can still grow it in the woods.
I've tried to float the idea of a chicken coop in like the little waste area behind our house, and that keeps getting shut down too. So I was told I can go buy eggs and not deal with the hassle.
That would be the goal. Yeah, if that was one thing I wish we had, and for honestly, we had a country school, so maybe I'm surprised we didn't. If we had like chicken class, apple class, like all these things to be self-sufficient, that
Oh,
would
I
have been
would love
nice.
it. Back then, I would have never thought that I would enjoy like growing my own food and like making my sourdough from scratch. But now it is full on like brings me happiness.
100%. I think back to cooking when all the times they're just like, this is just follow directions. You can literally make your own food. And now I'm literally like on YouTube every day trying to find a recipe because I'm just addicted to cooking my own food. And I'm like, I could have gotten A's all throughout high school if I knew this. This would have been awesome.
I'm like, why didn't we have like that would have been a fun class. I actually bought cookbooks for my birthday recently. Like,
Yep.
who am I?
You're a full on old head now. You got the cookbooks.
Oh yeah.
As far as going back in time, thinking about where you were like mentally and everything, is there any advice that you would give your 17, 18-year-old self, knowing what you know about now the last 15 years?
I feel like it'd be to stop stressing the small stuff.
Okay.
I think most people probably say that. It's like everything that seems so big then in reality, it's like, oh, that was actually pretty small. Like, have more fun. Like, because this isn't going to be earth shattering.
100%. I can definitely agree with that. I don't think it's everyone. There's people who'll say that, but it's like, it's probably the truest like advice that I can think of. Is, when you're in high school and you're like, oh my God, I got a flat tire. This is the worst. The whole world's falling on me. I got an F in that class. Some guys are making fun of me. Some girls are not talking. You know what I mean? Like all these things that just let them fly away. You don't even talk to anybody anymore until they hit you up on a podcast.
Social media, you kind of keep up. That's about it.
Yeah. Do you keep up with anybody as far as even like, it doesn't even have to be like as far as like the Elon area? Do you keep up with anything around here since you moved to Tennessee?
And I mainly see stuff on social media because my parents moved when I was still in Atlanta. They left Elon and moved full time to the coast.
Oh, okay.
So now even like when I go back home, we're down at Topsail. Not the closest I got to being back to Elon was my cousin got married last November in Pilot Mountain.
Okay.
And my husband's flight got all messed up because he was meeting us there later. We had to go pick up his bags at the Greensboro airport. So we went to La Fiesta for lunch. And that's the like closest blast from the past from home.
Yeah, I would say you're the only thing you're missing, and you're not missing much. I'll be honest with you. I'm in Gibsonville. That's where we are. It's just expanding. It's just exploding. We've become like the ultimate mattress county where everyone lives here and they work in the triad and the triangle, all that jazz. But now it's insane as far as like population growth.
I've seen some of that like people are showing pictures. I'm like, how is like this little place? It's like, oh, nope, apparently it's grown up.
Yeah, it's insane. It's funny. I use the weirdest examples, but like we have a Fleet Feet, which is like crazy running store, which is usually found in like nicer areas of Greensboro. And then we have, obviously we got a couple nice stores. I'll say that we're up there when we get some healthier stores. We're still like the fast food capital of North Carolina.
Hey, I mean, we finally got a Bojangles here, so like we've been missing out on some of the like good fast food.
So you're telling me? So I just got off the horn with Rajiv. So he's got his Bojangles up in Tennessee now. That's awesome.
He's fine. They were in Nashville. They finally made their way over here to this small little part of the West.
Well, honestly, going off the Bojangles, this is unrelated to high school. Are you still, I know at one point you were still running that Carolina Panther group. Any connection to that?
Not when we moved to Memphis. So left that in Atlanta. It was fun, but now trying to start up something in Memphis and then getting married, having 2 kids, there is no free time.
I can only imagine. How do you start something like that up?
Well, I kind of got lucky in Atlanta. There was like other people who were already starting to meet at a bar, and I joined up with them. And then the main leader moved up to actually Nashville in Tennessee for work. So when he moved for work, they needed someone to step in and take over.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty dope. Yeah. So you guys, when the kids are grown and you guys just need something to do, and the Tennessee Titans are still trash, you guys can get the Carolina Panthers up on.
My poor kid has chosen the Jaguars as his team, so like he's never going to be happy.
Why?
He likes the Jaguar at the zoo. We have to walk by it every single time we go.
Okay, that's fair. It's fair. If it's strictly animal based, I thought he was like, I like Trevor. It's like, I don't know.
I mean, he hates getting his hair cut, so like he might think that like
Okay, that's fair too. He has his reasons. He's not like a fair weather fan, which is hard to do for Jaguar fans.
Oh yes, we have an NFL little pick on the sheet every week, and he gets to pick by the team names, and always the Jaguars. Poor
That's
buddy.
funny. That's funny. No, so going kind of jumping back into the high school realm, do you ever think like it's been 15 years, it's been basically an entire lifetime of like activity online on everything. Do you ever like conceptualize the amount of like technological growth you've been through? It's something that I've been like obsessing over, like as far as we started off at like the beginning, like MySpace, and now we're at like the virtual precipice of like artificial intelligence.
Oh, so okay, do you have the Time Hop app on your phone?
I do not.
It will literally pull things from this day in history. So like it'll pull up your old Facebook statuses and stuff, and then that's when it like really sometimes kicks in. Or, like the pictures you posted online of like a Chick-fil-A sandwich. I was like, why would I do this? Like, so it's kind of funny watching that change to see how like the apps themselves changed.
Mm-hmm.
And then now there are girls who will like work at the studio who are at the University of Memphis, and to them, I really am ancient. And they're talking about all the TikTok trends and stuff. And I'm like, I don't even have TikTok.
Yeah.
They use AI to like write an email. And I'm like, I don't even like AI scares me. I don't want to use that.
Yeah. I will be honest. I use ChatGPT way too often, and I'm having to like wean myself off it. I'm like, I don't know if I have a brain anymore. This thing is just constantly on top of things.
My friend uses it to like meal plan, and she tells it like how many macros she wants and like what type of protein she wants, and it makes her a full daily meal plan and shopping list.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. I think about I mentioned this in a past episode. I think the biggest thing I wish I would have taken away was the ability to read sources and to source material. I think, with the amount of it doesn't red team, blue team, but the amount of news out there, because you never know like what's real and what's not. Artificial intelligence just blowing everything out. I wish I was better at reading like the sources and like sourcing things as far as like showing evidence. That was one thing that I think aged very well with what we were taught, but no one does it in practice because it was boring to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been crazy. It's been crazy to even conceptualize that it's been 15 years. Is there anything that I know you said as far as advice, is there anything when you look to the future, if you were to fast forward 15 years, is there anything that you see or you'd like to see?
Like in life or in the world?
All of it. Like, because that
life,
also.
That's almost scary. That means my oldest is going to be in college, which is, wow. Who knows? I'm like, I don't even know at that point. It's hard for me to think that far ahead, because one of the things that did hit me recently is there was a quote saying just about like current life to future. It's like being a parent. Most of your memories of your kids will come before they go to elementary school. But most of the time, people in life, they are adults, including them.
That's insane. That's crazy.
And that one hit me because I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. Like in 15 years, I'm like, it feels like I was just in high school and now thinking about the same amount of time my kids could be in college. Like, okay, that's actually scary right now.
There's a chart I saw. It was the correlating amount of connections that you have like as you age, and like the sweet spot is like your 20s to 40s where you're the most connected with your parents, general family, siblings, friends, and all of that, and it just declines after that. Like your kids stop seeing you. Your parents, would they pass away? Your friends are leaving, and it's just slowly. So like we're in this weird, kind of sad, sweet spot where it's all downhill from here statistically.
Oh, the fun thing to think about. Yeah. So right now it's great. Right now you've got it all.
Yeah. And then I think when you mentioned your kid, I was thinking of this is not gonna upset you. There was a thing I read too. It was like there was a point in time where where your parents stopped picking you up. There was a point in time where they stopped.
Yep.
Yeah. Not to make the podcast melancholy.
I mean, with the size of my children, that might be sooner than other odd ages. They are. We're constantly that like, oh, he's like 6 or 7. I'm like, he's 4. Like, he's just big.
Well, Kaley, it's been a great time catching up with you. Hopefully we can do this. We'll just keep doing it every 5 years and we'll just all age progressively. And that way then we miss the sweet spot. We just continually keep going.
We stay in that. We make it last longer.
That's it. Is there anything that you'd like to plug? Anything that you're doing that we can add, like show notes or anything like that?
I'll say not really. So right now I'm in kind of that fun era of, it seems like not a lot's going on, but at the same time, everything is going on because I stay at home with the two of them. So they go to school twice a week for my sanity, but it's kind of the fun relearning and seeing life through their eyes. So that is my main thing going on in life.
Perfect. Well, it has been a pleasure. We're going to have to do this again. Thank you so much, Kaley.
All right. Thank you.
If you're new to the podcast, again, please be sure to leave a review. Again, this is the Cooler Conversations podcast, the podcast culminations of cool stories, coolest people. See you later.